Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of the NK Show. Today I'm going to be talking about a big complaint that we have as parents is our children don't listen to us.
Do 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 do.
How many times do we get together as moms and say, oh my god, they don't listen? Well, actually, some moms won't say it because we're so embarrassed by it, literally so embarrassed. But believe me, this is a common problem. We all have it. Our children don't want to listen. And it's so interesting because what do we do when they don't listen? We get frustrated, we get angry, we yell. And does that solve anything? No. I'm laughing because I know I've been through it. I'm laughing. It doesn't solve anything because what happens is we go into the cycle and we get drawn into them. And then we feel guilty because there are precious little things that we brought up and we love wholeheartedly. Most of the time. All of the time. No, most of the time we do. Even when we're angry, we do. But at that time when they're infuriating you and they're not listening, you're like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? This child doesn't listen. And it's really interesting because I actually was speaking to another mum today and I thought I would do this video for you guys. So what's my top 3 things for having our children listen to us? Okay? Number one is being clear on instructions. Okay? I see this so often. We tell a child, go and do this. But we weren't clear. You've got 10 minutes when they don't even understand the concept of time yet. Okay? You want to be really clear on the instruction that you're giving that child so they know 100% this is what's expected of me. And you want to talk it through with them. And remember that when you do start making this change, that they're not going to adapt just like that. We don't as adults. But if you give them enough time and space and yourself enough time and space, slowly they'll begin to see these are the expectations of me and this is what I have to do. And if they don't fulfill the expectation, what is a consequence that's appropriate to give to that child per age? Okay, so it might be something like a point chart. It could be some kind of reward, I don't know, some people give money, some people take points off if they don't do something. So they might start off with 100 points and then if they go below 80, that means they won't get a certain activity. Whatever it might be, but they need to have clear instructions. They need to know from beginning to end, this is what's expected, this is how long I've got to do it, this is what my mum wants, and if I don't do it, this is what's going to happen. What I find a lot of the times we say that our children don't listen, and this is my point too, is how good are you at keeping boundaries? You set them something and they push a little bit and then you give up. You're like, no, okay, you can have it. Or you start yelling and you lose that element of control. And when I talk about control, I'm not talking about controlling them, but the ability to know what we've set, be firm in that and see it through. I see so many people just they give in. These are your children. You can't give in. You owe them too much. They're too precious to give in. And you're teaching them something so valuable by saying, this is what I expect. Because when they grow up, they'll also remember that this is what my mum expected and my dad expected. This is what I'm supposed to do. And if I don't do it, these are the consequences. So those are the 2 things. Number 1, clear expectations. Number 2, your boundaries. Number 3, is sometimes we think that they're not listening, but really they're not trying to be disobedient. And what we do is we put labels on them. Oh, he's naughty, he doesn't listen, he's disrespectful. And if we think about it, sometimes they're not doing it to be disrespectful or to be naughty. They genuinely might forget. Anas radiallahu anhu, the Prophet ﷺ would ask him to get something and he would forget. And the Prophet ﷺ was so merciful, he would go to him and he said, Anas, what happened? He wouldn't reprimand him, he wouldn't say, why didn't you do it? Why, and the kind of things that we teach our children, they need to have that mercy. Sometimes they're going to forget. Sometimes they're going to not want to do it. But if we come through with a bit of leniency and a bit of leeway, and we nurture them through it. So if we want them to clean their bedrooms, instead of labeling them, you didn't do it, you didn't listen, if we use positive reinforcement and we said to them, look, the bedroom needs doing because of this, this and this. If you don't do the bedroom, then this is what's going to happen. And it's a part of our religion to keep things clean. And we're nurturing them and we're teaching them as we go along. And that does take some patience. So what I think the number 3 point is, look at your own schedule. Look at the things that you're asking them to do. Are you giving them enough time? Sometimes for an adult, 10 minutes is okay. But for a child, they might need 20 minutes. And they might need showing. And oftentimes what we do is we're expecting something that they're not sure of. And that's down to our leadership. If we slow down and we think about, are we nurturing that child? Are we showing them by actually physically going in? Are we teaching them why they have to do that? More of the moral principles. Then inshallah, they will have that sense of responsibility. Rather than them being told what to do, include them in. And even from a young age, I remember my children, if I said to them, we have to clean the house because we're a family, we work together, they kind of understand that's what we have to do. So I hope that helps. Those are my 3 tips for children who don't listen. Jazakallah khairan for listening. If you benefited from this video and you liked it, give me a thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.